Alright guys, how you all doing? Now, as you guys may have noticed, I have been getting quite a lot of support lately, and honestly, I'm really loving it. Now, this is fun and all, but to top it all off, I want each and every one of you guys to go down to the description to the link to my very own Discord server. Here, you can leave questions and suggestions in the Q&A section of the server down below, and some of them might even be featured in an upcoming Q&A video, which I'm planning to do very soon. In fact, if you're lucky enough, you might even be able to see the behind the scenes footage of how the videos on this channel are produced. So yeah, join the Discord server, leave questions and suggestions, and enjoy the video. Cue the intro! So throughout the course of around the decade and a half that I've spent existing on this tiny blue dot, I have gotten myself and even some of my mates into some big trouble. However, this story easily makes itself into the top 10, simply because of how unbelievably dangerous, risky, and downright crazy it is. You see, in my very first year of secondary school, a whole lot of things changed. My new school was reasonably far away from home, my everyday school routine was no longer practical, and worst of all, I had a lot of trouble trying to get picked up and dropped at home due to my parents having really busy schedules. Usually, I would just stay after school in the computer rooms until they would close and hope that my parents would pick me up. But this had to change. I know this sounds weird, but there's only so much you can do in a room full of computers. I just had to find another way. I had reached a stage in life when it was finally time for me to mature from an undeveloped, out-of-shape primary school kid into an independent young adult who was able to stand on his own 2 feet. So on a beautiful Sunday morning, my family and I set out to find me a suitable route to get home. All the pieces had fallen into place. This meant that for the first time in my entire life, I would have to take the bus home. But this wasn't the safe and secure school bus. No. This bus that I took to get home was a public bus. Yeah, you heard me right. This was the kind of bus that you would find this guy to be in. Now, although everything was changing, not all of it was changing for the worse. I did learn a lot in lessons, have a ton of fun, and managed to get myself a couple of mates. 2 of which who used to, like me, take buses to the nearby bus station and then make their way home from there. These 2 guys were called Shreyas and Anish, who has already been featured on this channel in this lovely bit of cringe right here, for which I will be leaving a link in the description for you lot to enjoy. Now, the way this would work is, at the end of the school day, I would take a 5-minute walk to the bus stop located near the school, and wait around 20 minutes to sometimes even an hour for the first bus to arrive, at which point Shreyas, Anish and I, along with a couple of others, would run in and make ourselves comfortable. Throughout this 15-minute bus journey, the bus would make various stops before finally reaching the local bus station. It was at that point where the 3 of us would walk out, chat for a couple of minutes, wave goodbye, and then go our separate ways. From here, I would go to the bus stop near the train station, and then wait 15 to 20 minutes for the final bus to arrive. Now, this was a 10-minute bus journey, which would eventually take me to the bus stop near my house. And after all of that, it would take me half an hour to around 40 minutes to walk home. Despite it being an exhausting, time-consuming process, it was truly enjoyable, as I've been able to bring home so many enjoyable stories with me, which I still remember and laugh at to this day. Funnily enough, the walking also helped me lose a lot of that massive belly, which I was notoriously known for throughout the later stages of my primary school years. What used to take me nearly 2.5 hours to reach home, slowly and gradually evolved and developed into around an hour and 10 minutes. However, this is where the story takes a dramatic turn. After all, not each day was as simple as that. Kinda similar to one day, in the magical year of 2015. The school day was, as usual, quite fun. The bells had rung and the gates had opened. I walked up to the bus station and there everyone was. Around a quarter of an hour passed and the bus was here. We walked in, got our bus passes checked, and made our way right through the vast vehicular vessel. I sat down with my bag to my right and leaned forward. After about 10 more minutes of chit-chat, the bus had come to a stop. We all grabbed our belongings and made our way out. We waved goodbye to the bus driver, hopped out of the bus and pulled out our phones to text our parents that we had reached the bus station. Just at that moment, Shreyas decided that it would be best if he left a bit earlier than usual to compensate for the buses being slightly late. So then it was just me and Anish on our phones trying to contact our parents. Shortly after this, a 40-something-year-old black man started walking towards us. At first, we felt sorry for him as he was homeless and probably hadn't slept in weeks. I wasn't able to hear exactly what he was saying, but I could roughly hear him complaining about teenagers on their phones. Slowly and gradually, I shriveled up into the corner of my body, worried how things could get out of hand. I wanted to shout out the words, "What do you want?" but nothing came out. This was a pretty daunting experience on its own, but the events that followed shortly after were unforgettable. His slow, irregular limps had turned into leaps. Anish and I looked at each other, and we knew that it had to be done. We stuck our phones in our pockets and made a run for it. Now the funny thing is, Mr. Creepy Homeless Guy over here was half drunk, so mid-high-speed chase, he kind of fell down. Oh my god. Now the funny thing is, Mr. Creepy Homeless Guy over here was half drunk, so mid-high-speed chase, he kind of fell down. Now this all happened in the span of 15 minutes, and my bus wasn't to arrive for another quarter of an hour. Anish decided to leave then, which left me alone near an unconscious homeless person. Woohoo! Anish had then decided to leave, which left me alone near an unconscious homeless person. So I did what every normal person would do in this situation, and I walked up to where Mr. Creepy Homeless Guy was.
Wait, what?
So I did what every normal, out-of-shape 11-year-old would do, and walked up to the newsagent shop, and got myself a Twix chocolate bar to relieve my stress, until finally my bus arrived. After around a 10-minute bus journey and a 20-minute jog, I finally reached home, at which point Anish and I, along with a whole bunch of lads from school, would jump onto our PS4s and play some lovely Blacklight Retribution with each other.
But Dodgster, what is Blacklight Retribution?
In short, it's pretty much just a first-person shooter with legitimate wall hacks. And if you want to view the cringy Blacklight Retribution videos I made back in the day, hey, I'll be sure to leave a link to the playlist in the description below. Moral of the story, be wary of your surroundings. I know that sounds a bit cliche, but if it wasn't for Sir Creepalot's drinking issues, I wouldn't be alive to tell the story. Which brings us to the end of the video! Be sure to check out the Dodgster Discord in the description, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you fellas later. Peace!